are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and then end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Podcast, Podchasers, Spreaker, Rumble, Tiki Live, Audible, Amazon Music. And like it's Monday, so I'm not quite as on my list, but it is streaming everywhere. And I'm delighted that this is 11 and a half years now. We are on show/podcast number 992. It is 500. And I forgot to update this morning. I believe, here we go. It's coming up on the stream. 588. Ooh, good. 588 consecutive weeks. And I'm so glad that, those people who said that show about hope and happiness would not last, I'm glad they're wrong, because of all of y'all. Thanks for always supporting and encouraging. And I continued to get such wonderful feedback and messages. And, if you missed any of my 992 shows, you can go onto my YouTube channel. It's a free subscribe, and you can get my past shows. Gosh, there's so many. What's coming to mind is some of my favorite shows. Greg O'Brien, who Pulitzer-winning author, who got early onset Alzheimer's, and he came on the air and talked about what it was like from inside the mind of someone who was getting and continuing to feel the effects of Alzheimer. That was a great show. I've got other humanitarian and educational shows. Frederick, who was in the Rwandan genocide. I had the two granddaughters, one of the lawyer of Hitler. He was the butcher of Poland. His granddaughter, Dr. Francisca, and also the granddaughter of the Auschwitz survivor. That show is amazing. I still need to go and submit those. People have been very kind. I just came out with my third film that I'm going to encourage you to go and watch. And that is on my YouTube channel. Just go Dr. Marissa or Asian Oprah or Dr. Marissa Pay, and you will find that. And if you free subscribe, you'll get a an alert every morning before the show. And as you've noticed, we're still migrating some people over who have gotten used to me at 8 a.m. I am obviously now at 9. So I can be accessed from my YouTube channel to watch and listen. If you are now driving, please do not try to comment. Thank you. I just got that finger from whoever is listening right now, watching. Not that finger, but this finger. You can comment and ask questions. And this morning, I really would love anyone who watched the two movies that I'm going to review to come and chat with me. If you'd like to even be live in studio and join me with your face, I'm happy to do that. Just drop me a line in the comments and I'll be able to talk with you about two really great movies that I saw this weekend. But before we do that, you know the drill. We start with the gratitude sandwich, which is a morning blissipline that I want everyone to get really good at. I want to exercise your muscle that start your day in the most positive way. So 8 things that you're grateful for, and welcome to put it in the chat. Frank, you're welcome to also play along and put it in the chat. Frank is my new sound engineer now at 9 a.m. And I just thank him for becoming part of my Happy 88 operational family to bring you this show about hope and happiness. No gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk at all, to the air and on camera. All right, here we go. I am grateful that I am now able to reach even more of an audience it's a new audience at 9. So welcome to Dr. Marissa's splattering more hope and happiness to you. I am grateful that my older daughter, took me out for my birthday. Yes, it is officially the birthday week. I've been celebrating. I think I started the 10th of July. I figure, a month, 10th of July to the 10th of August. And then heck, we're in August. So we might as well go to the end of August. So I have a month and 3 weeks every year where I get to celebrate my birthday. The actual day is the 10th, but I'm ageless, so go figure. But I am grateful that I got to have a delightful day yesterday with my older daughter and her boyfriend. They took me to see a movie, Oppenheimer, which was my request. And then I got to go to have yummy beef ribs at Lucille's and play games at Dave & Buster's. So I love to play games and I love being with my daughter. The week before, my younger daughter, they both live in San Francisco. And my younger daughter came down and she took me to see Barbie, the movie. So I thought, I usually do happiness coaching on Mondays and I love doing that. But someone asked me because they saw my review on Fandango. And so I have some followers that like my movie reviews and they said, why don't you do a show that reviews movies? And so last week, Monday, I reviewed The Sound of Freedom, which was amazing movie as well. You'll have to go back to my YouTube channel and get that show. But I started this new series accidentally and got great feedback from that. So if you've seen either movie, I'm going to be chatting and talking at you this morning. I would love for you to talk back at me. All right. I think that's 8 gratitudes. We're going to go to the bottom of the button. Those of you who know me and my focus on being your biggest advocate for your own mental health, I am absolutely convinced, it's my BS belief system, that mental health starts with your ability to care, self-care, self-soothe, self-love. So the bottom of the bun on the gratitude sandwich is, what do you like about yourself? What are you proud of yourself? What do you know you're good at? And if you don't know, then you're going to have to tune in every morning so you can train this aspect of happiness. So what do you like? And for me, a little backstory for all of you new listeners at 9 a.m. I didn't like myself a lot. I grew up with a lot of criticism. I was told I was fat, ugly, and clumsy. And that critic, that negative voice carried through to my adult life. And I would collect all the criticisms that I've ever been given and have this giant thing hanging over my head that I wouldn't let you see, but would take away the happiness that is my birthright in life. And so the journey to self-love is not easy. You have to really focus on taking all of that negativity and releasing it and replacing it with affirmations that you start to believe. I don't jump really too far when we talk about what we like. I don't want you to pretend I think affirmations that are pretending that really aren't the truth or anywhere close to the truth are not helpful. But those things that people compliment you on more than once, those are things that if you don't embrace them yourself, you can start trying. So I appreciate that I'm a great motivational speaker, and I get told that a lot. And so I'm going to own that. I appreciate that I'm funny. My husband told me I was not funny almost every day of the 9.2 years that we were married. And so the best thing about divorce is I own my funny. Then I appreciate that I am quick draw McGraw on funny things, on witty things. I love to hear people laugh. That's number 4. I am a good, compassionate person for those who've had some childhood trauma. I'm one of the 7 out of 10 of us who did. And so that's helped me be compassionate and helped me have a voice to help those who've had that same experience. Number 6, I appreciate that I love to make up words. Wordplay is one of my favorite things. Number 7, I appreciate that I became a filmmaker. Hashtag COVID silver lining. I realized that I really enjoyed making films. And as I mentioned, I'd love for you to give me a review on my YouTube channel to go look at my newest film. It's the 3rd film that I have. And it's called A Candid Conversation with Caldwell Williams. Can you handle the truth? So anyone who wants to know how we can get past all the damage of racism and prejudice without talking and blaming white privilege, then you'll want to watch this film. So that's on my YouTube channel. Just got released last week on Monday with Caldwell. And I appreciate that I drink creative juice so that I'm able to create and do things that I love to do. And finally, I appreciate that I am a good encourager, and that is my role with you. I am your personal advocate for more hope and happiness. I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So that's it. That is called Breakfast with Dr. Marissa. We do this also with when I have my co-hosts. And I promise if you do this for 28 days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way, and you will up-level your happiness. That's my guarantee. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. All right, and now it is time for movie reviews. And I meant to upload did I do it? Let's see. We'll just use this music for now, and it will be my intro until I find a good intro for my movie review Mondays. Frank, is this too loud? Let's see if we put it on the... There we go. I've not used music behind talking, but we'll try it today because I'm into experimentals. And how many of you have watched the movie Barbie and watched the movie Oppenheimer? Those are the 2 movies up for review today. And so I'm going to attempt to also try the monologue that was just brilliantly done by America Ferrera. And when she did that movie, when she did the monologue, I literally burst into tears. My daughter was like, concerned, but the words that she used that were written, by the way, by the writers who are on strike right now. I want to also highlight the fact that I do support the writers right now on strike, the SAG-AFTRA. I actually could be a member. I have the credentials to begin, but I'm so busy with other stuff. But I absolutely support the writers that are on strike now, because one of the things that's amazing that people don't realize who are not close to Hollywood is you think it's the actors, not taken away from the actors, because their craft is to take the words and bring them to life. But the words themselves are written by the writers of the movie. And I think that a lot of us in Hollywood, when we think of Hollywood, we think of the stars, we think of the actors and the actresses, and we don't necessarily think of those people who really are an integral part of making movies and making Hollywood so amazing as not just the producers and directors there is important, but all of the people that it takes to make a movie. And certainly the spotlight has been on the writers because of their the strike and not being respected. I think the best protest sign I saw, I actually got to cover some of the protests in my other job capacity as a broadcast journalist and on-site news reporter. So I was there to support them. But the best sign I saw was just one less yacht. And I know that's a little heavy on the sarcasm, but I think it is true. I think the disparity in our world right now between the top of the organization and then the people who do the work and support the work of the organization is way too large. I'm not talking about communism or socialism where everybody's equal, but I do believe, I'm trying to think of the organization that said there would never be more than this amount of dollars between his salary as CEO and the frontline customer service rep. So I like that. I'm going to have to give credit where credit is due on that. But let's start with Oppenheimer. So what I love to do is the ability to share screen and do research. So we're going to go to YouTube and actually see if we can't get a trailer for Oppenheimer and put ourselves in the mood. There we go. So we remind those of us who sometimes forget what we did yesterday. So let's see if I can't stop this and stop the music. All right. We're going to share this screen. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Oppenheimer, then come back in about 10 minutes when I do the Barbie movie, if you've watched that. But we're going to start by watching and reminding myself of Oppenheimer.
We imagine a future. And our imaginings horrify us. They won't fear it until they understand it. And they won't understand it until they've used it. Theory will take you only so far. I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But we have no choice. Is anyone ever going to tell the truth about what's happening here?
All right. Oops. Let me, there we go. Um, that was the trailer to Oppenheimer. Those of you who have watched it, I would love you to chat in the comments and let me know what you thought of the movie. I will give it a Dr. Marissa 8-star review right now. And I will say that I thought the cinematography was amazing. The shots were mesmerizing. I did see it on the big screen. I love the movies. As you can tell, it's one of my favorite things. And it was, the acting was amazing. It brought to life something for me that I had not thought about. I mean, when we think about the atomic bomb, we think about Hiroshima, and then people remind us that that's connected to Pearl Harbor, and the whole reason that bomb was dropped was to stop, or to as a reaction to what happened in Pearl Harbor, which was also horrible. But I hadn't really, thought about how the atomic bomb even came to be. So it was really interesting to watch the process with which, and it is Hollywood, and I don't know. Let's see if we Google here how much of Oppenheimer is accurate. Okay. So J. Oppenheimer was an immensely complex figure, and the movie's based on the biography of him. While the movie is historically accurate in many ways, there are a few bits of fiction mixed in. Okay, so there's spoilers here, and so don't, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, don't, I'll see you in about 10 minutes when I cover Barbie, if you've seen that. All right, let's see. Historians call him a complicated figure. You can't come up with a simple version. The fact he did try to poison his tutor. Wow, that's interesting. And but Niels Bohr was not there. Okay, that was interesting. I did not know that. He did deliver an entire lecture in Dutch. Very impressive. He did have he had Hakon Chevalier raise their son Peter for a while. The scene, I remember him giving the child over. They were both overwhelmed. Germany wasn't ready to build an atomic bomb. Didn't know that. The way that it made it sound was they were already starting. Okay, fact, Oppenheimer mocked Strauss about the isotopes, so that was real. Let's share this so you know where I'm getting this from. This is from the Business Insider, and I just love doing this because I love learning real time. All right. Oppenheimer estimated only 20,000 people would die from an atomic bomb. Wow. So let's see, estimates the number of dead. I've never seen anything that suggested they had any real methodology. And I think there were, how many actually died? How many died in atomic bomb in Japan? Okay, Hiroshima. Make sure first that I'm going somewhere that is less biased. And I'll bring you along here. Okay, let's switch to this side. Checking the comments. Okay. killed between 129 and 226,000 people. So kind of a lot more than the estimate. Gonna go back to fact versus fiction. All right. A big thunderstorm delayed the Trinity test. That's true. And Feynman did watch it from behind a windshield. So he said, I'm probably the only guy who saw it with the human eye. Oppenheimer never said publicly he regretted dropping the bomb. So I guess we're going to talk about the ethics or the regrets. I think that was a big theme. I never thought through that as well. His conversation with Einstein on be careful what you start because you may be responsible for the beginning of the worst thing to happen to mankind. I'm paraphrasing. That was a definite heart of my heart thing. I think one of the defense responses was somebody was going to do it anyways. So either Russia's going to do it or Germany was going to do it. So, that whole dilemma of how much do we want to be the beginning or the inventors or the creators of something that is so horrific. And that is one of those questions that I hope that it reminds me of when I recognize Veterans Day, when I recognize Armistice Day, when I recognize veterans, I'm reminded of my guest who was the director of Veterans for Peace, Michael McPherson, who said and brought to my attention that Armistice Day was actually not to honor veterans the way it is now, or to celebrate war as it is now. It was done by the mothers of all the soldiers who died in World War I as a reminder to us of the horrors of war. And so the theme that I really it hit my heart from the movie Oppenheimer is really looking at the expense of war. Again, the expense and the ramifications and what Oppenheimer struggled with as he built the bomb. 4 years, billions of dollars, 4,000 people gathered together in New Mexico to build this thing that now is forever in our tragic history of what humankind, emphasis on not kind, can do to humans, regardless of the defense of it. So I'm a huge advocate of peace. Y'all know, peace in, peace out, world peace through, inner peace. Will I see the end of war in this generation? Nope. Will I always advocate for peace? Yes. How do we get to peace? Do weapons of mass destruction? I'm so used to saying news is the weapon of mass distraction, but weapons of war, the scientists that are still creating them, have we learned that all human life is valuable? If you watch I didn't mean to use it as a commercial, but there's a part of my docufilm with Caldwell Williams where we take it out of the black and white, black versus white people are bad, black people are bad. We take it out of that realm and look at how we got to the place where we have nations warring against nations. And I think that's worth thinking about, talking about, discussing, considering. So there's no answer. There's no right answer, wrong answer in this. But I do want to give the writers and the producers of Oppenheimer, and especially Christopher Nolan, the Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award in raising this again as something worth talking about versus talking about K words, Kanye, and celebrities and what they're wearing and who they're marrying and who they're divorcing and the scandal and the kids and the extramarital affairs. For me, that's not worth airtime about. But talking about this, what was raised in Oppenheimer, and weapons and killing and atomic bombs and the tragedy of war and the creation of weapons, I think that's worth talking about. So I just gave you my BS, my belief systems around all of that, and I hope that you consider it. I hope this is a topic after you watch the movie Oppenheimer. I hope that we all expand our minds to look at the ramifications of things like this. I think this is definitely a deeper conversation. All right. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on this Monday morning, it's one of my new series that I'm doing myself called Monday Morning Movie Reviews. And Monday, because I love the movies and I also want to give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to give Oppenheimer a Dr. Marissa 8-star review. I'm going to give it a 7-star out of 8, which is really high. I don't think I've ever given anybody an 8-star, but I'll give them a 7-star all the way around, especially presenting a topic that's meaningful for us as humans to begin to look at how we are helping ourselves and hurting ourselves as humankind, emphasis on kind. And we're going to be right back and just going to break and do a station ID. I'll be back in 2 and 2 on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5. and streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and you can free subscribe on my YouTube channel if you'd like to comment on Oppenheimer or the Barbie movie. Then come right back and we'll do that. This is Dr. Marissa. We'll be right back. Are you having a tough time? Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢.
Be my partner, dance with me, just hold on, I will.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. And you can watch and listen on my YouTube channel. It's a free subscribe there. You're also maybe watching on Facebook and LinkedIn. And welcome to the show. It is part of a new series this Monday called Monday Morning Movie Reviews. And we just finished Oppenheimer. They got a 7-star out of 8. You all know 8 is a special number for me. It is a homophone for good fortune in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish, but I am actually Chinese. Now, we're going to move to Barbie movie. Now, Barbie movie is, I had no idea. If you had told me that I was going to watch a Barbie movie and burst into tears, I would have told you you're crazy. It's a, I mean, come on. It's a movie about dolls and Barbies and the company. And I actually, I'm grateful that I have had a chance to consult with Mattel. And one of the perks of consulting with them for years, I was on the team brought in to design their diversity, valuing diversity, which is an area that I do as an organizational psychologist. You know, I have a PhD in organizational psychology. That's where my doctor comes from. And so I got to do that with them, also design sexual harassment training, change management with respect to creating an organization that values diversity. So I'm really happy that I got to do that. And because I did that, every year at Christmas, I would get Barbie dolls. And they were kind enough to gift those to me. Grace was the HR VP at the time. And I would get, she might be still, but I would get these lovely Barbies for myself and for my daughters. Unfortunately, my daughters were not big into doll playing. I'm not quite sure why. But it was a wonderful gesture. I think I still have them somewhere, ones with our names on them, as well as the what is it? Leo. I'm a Leo and 5 planets. So our astrological Barbies. So that movie I thought was going to be nice, funny, light and fluffy. The acting was brilliant. The set design was great. Ryan is funny as heck. All the actors have a horrible name recognition thing, but the one actress who stood out the absolute most was America Ferrera. And her, again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to be giving the words in that monologue as a way also of recognizing and giving all the writers in that movie responsible for that monologue, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award, because it is absolutely brilliant. All right. But as I like to do, I want to show you, to get us in the mood, the trailer. Let's see. Barbie movie. So if you've seen this and you have a memory like mine and forgot what the movie was about, here we go.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
You can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
When my heart breaks,
Some things have been happening that might be related.
when my world shakes.
Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground. What do I have to do? You have to go to the real world. You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours. The first one, the high heel. You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Closer I am to find. Closer I am to find.
I'm coming with you.
Okay. Wow, this is the real world. What's going on? Why are these men looking at me?
Yeah, they're also staring at me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
If this got out, this could mean extremely weird things for our world. This would be catastrophic!
We haven't played with Barbie since we were like 5 years old. Oh.
No one rests until this doll is back in a box.
Even if nobody else sings along.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
Ideas live forever.
No, I won't let you do just one appendectomy.
But I'm a man.
But not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
I need a clicky pen.
No.
A sharp thing.
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
Is Barbie if you still in doubt?
All right, that was the trailer for the next movie review that I'm doing. Welcome to Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and Monday morning review series. We just did Oppenheimer and now Barbie. And the reason why I want to give this movie way more stars than I thought I would give it, because of the monologue that was probably 2/3 of the way through. If you haven't watched the movie, don't listen, because you have to experience this this actual monologue that now I'm just going to do something so that I can read it to you, and all credit is to the writers in the Barbie movie. Greta Gerwig did an amazing job with this movie, but I burst into tears at these words, and these are for all the women out there who just don't believe that they're good enough. And it is really an epidemic on how so many women don't love themselves, don't like themselves, are so critical of the way they look and who they are. So I'm going to give this an attempt. And Frank, could you tell me when I do if you have lost me when I do that? But here we go. Let me make sure before I do this that you're actually hearing and seeing me. Frank, can you give me a thumbs up that you can still hear me when oh, great. Okay, here we go. From the Barbie movie.
And America Ferrera did this brilliantly. But the words, it is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we always have to be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you also have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash others' ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane. But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood. But always stand out and always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. This is where I burst into tears at the movie with my daughter. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll just representing women, then I don't even know. I'm going to cry again. Because in those words, I felt like somebody got me for the first time or understood the struggle sometimes that it is to be a woman in this time, in this world. And as much as I love and approve and affirm and have done this journey to love myself, it still obviously hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Some of these tears are for the women that I coach who are feeling this, especially women who struggle with trying to do it all. You know, being that full-time mom, being that a perfect boss, being that perfect wife or partner, being that perfect daughter, being that perfect, and all of that. It is so exhausting. And I'm not apologizing for crying on the air because tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. And I love it when my guests cry. I try to cry at least once a week because of that, knowing that that is keeping my heart soft. So I read that because it is just perfectly captures what it is, what it feels like sometimes for that woman who wants it all, that woman who is trying to do it all, the woman who is trying so hard to be perfect. And I wanted those words to acknowledge how difficult it is for women today to feel good about themselves, to feel that they are successful, number one, and two, to acknowledge the brilliance of writing that comes with movies that right now 1,000% support the strike and really try to equal the paying ground, bring equality to the paying ground of those writers who really are an integral part of Hollywood. So that's why I did that. But because of, I normally would have given this movie probably, 6 stars. Maybe 5 stars on my 8-star rating for Dr. Marissa's movie reviews. I am definitely giving it a 7 because of that particular monologue that I hope if you watch this later or see this, the reason why this was so important for me to speak the words out, it was not just for myself and not as it is a reminder for all women to cut ourselves a tremendous amount of slack and to stop trying to look for love in the wrong places. Stop trying to make everybody happy. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. Stop the codependent dance. Stop looking, if you're happy, I'm happy. Stop trying to meet everybody else's needs in our own expense, and literally stop. I played that particular commercial break on my balanced Tai Chi Gong practice because I created that moving meditation for women who try to do it all, who try to be it all, to try to have it all. Stop. Because we're killing ourselves for nothing. We are absolutely doing ourselves a disservice. We have the dis-ease of perfectionism. We want to make everybody healthy, and we're dying of suffocation because we don't have enough oxygen. And the only one that is going to do that is ourselves. This is my birthday week. This is a week that I celebrate, reminding myself that, it's my life, not in a selfish bad way, but in a selfish good way. I love Esther Hicks as a teacher of the law of attraction because her whole thing that resonates is we really are on this planet not to serve everybody, because if we do that, we're completely exhausted and we don't love our lives. I love my life, and I'm known for I love my life, I love my life, or I love my life because I've learned now that the most important person in my life is me. The most important person that is able to do what I do is me. And I love what I do, and I am helping others, and I love getting compliments for that. But the fundamental reason why I am on this planet is to love myself and to express all of the things that are uniquely mine. Every single woman, I'm going to focus on y'all, on this planet today have a unique talent, gift, and ability. And it is not just to be a mom. It is a beautiful calling to be a mother, but a mother does not define you. It is a beautiful calling to be a partner or a daughter or a boss or a volunteer at school. But those are not who you are. Those are things that are in your role that you do to help others, but that is not who you are fundamentally in who you are. Because if you live your life just defining yourself in the role that you do for others, you're going to have a pretty shirty life. You're going to be exhausted all of the time. You're going to be disappointed. You're waiting for someone to say, "You're so good. Thank you, Mom. You're a fantastic mom." No one is going to do that for you. You wouldn't even believe it if they did. It's so important for us to affirm ourselves. And that is my public service announcement for women all over the world. This is Dr. Marissa with Monday Morning Movie Review, with just hoping that you got something out of today's show. And love you all. Women, love yourselves. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.